Nightwing now has a fifth-dimensional imp. Fifth-dimensional imps are beings of unlimited power. There's Bat-Mite, and there's Mr. Mxyzptlk. But in the world of Nightwing, he has finally removed the big bad crime boss from Bloodhaven, Blockbuster. He's also started a relationship with Batgirl, he also has a new puppy that he's taking care of, and he's the leader of the Titans once again. Now it's time for the fallout of getting rid of the big bad crime boss, Blockbuster, and the discovery of a fifth-dimensional imp. This is Comicstorian. I create audio dramas of comic books which allow you to know what is happening in the world of comics and know what to add to your collection. Also, I hear a lot of you guys stating that you're unaware that I upload new comic book videos nearly daily. Well, here's how you can fix that. Only 200,000 of you actually have notifications turned on. So if you never want to miss another comic book upload, consider hitting that bell and that notification button. It would help me more than you realize. Thank you. Now let's get into Nightwing 98 and 99. With Blockbuster finally stopped, it's time to dismantle his empire across Bloodhaven, starting with one of his prominent figureheads, Salvatore Maroney. After being arrested and in jail for a while, Maroney didn't fully realize what was going on in the city. Specifically, he was unaware of the death of Blockbuster. But Blockbuster was a smart man. He kept details on everyone, including his own men, like spreadsheets of murders. When Commissioner Maggie Sawyer laid out all the evidence against Maroney, she reminded him how corrupt the BPD is. And should this information get leaked, he'd have a lot of unhappy mobsters. So without much of a choice, Maggie Sawyer does what she does best. And she tells him that they need to cooperate on what's in these documents so that they can bring down the operations before they have a chance to kill him. However, since they have an issue with protecting people, they will be getting a little help from Gotham City. Renee Montoya walks into the interrogation room, telling her that the deal they have is that they move tonight. They're going to be bringing Maroney to Gotham. Maroney asks, "Why would I be safer in Gotham?" And Maroney tells him because sadly, they know how to keep scum alive. Just look at the Joker. As the sun begins to set, Montoya places Maroney into an armored truck and begins to make her way back to Gotham, when suddenly a passing semi-truck plows into the side of them. The truck takes out a few police cars following, but worse yet, it rams into the armored truck, turning it on its side. Montoya checks to make sure that everyone is okay, and once she knows that they're all alive, she kicks open the back hatch to try and get away. But no sooner does she do that than her men step out. The criminals trying to kill Maroney open fire on her, forcing her to take cover. Montoya tells one of her officers to get Maroney out of there, but as the officer goes towards Maroney, he instead pulls a gun on him. But before he can pull the trigger, and his grimace stick clocks the corrupt officer as Nightwing and Batgirl pull up to offer support. Montoya looks at the officer. "What the hell?" And Maroney yells that her own man was about to put a bullet in his head. Montoya sighs. Can't even protect Maroney from her own people. Nightwing looks at her. "Don't worry, I'll take him and keep him safe." Montoya asks him if he's sure, and Batgirl tells her, "Yep, are you gonna be okay?" Montoya tells her that she'll be fine. They want Maroney, not her. They'll meet on Monday. So Nightwing grabs Maroney, throwing him on the back of a bike, and begins to make off as Maroney is pleading to not be driven off on a motorcycle. He takes a shortcut, driving off the highway and into the woods that separates Gotham from Bloodhaven, passing Maroney off to Batgirl while he handles anyone that is following them. And right on cue, a group of men quietly make their way in search of Maroney. Too many people have walked into these woods and never walked out again, which makes it a great place to hide, and an even better place to hunt. As the men are knocked out, Nightwing hurries up to one of the 3 bunkers that Batman has left in these woods, just in case he ever wants to brood remotely, which makes for a good place to stash a wanted criminal. After arguing for a little bit, Batgirl and Nightwing stick him with a tranquilizer, putting him to sleep. Batgirl explains that the Titans have agreed to look over Bloodhaven and Haley. 3 days in an isolated bunker in the woods with just Nightwing, Batgirl, and a known criminal. This is perfect. The next morning, Nightwing goes to check on Maroney to ask how he slept. Maroney says awful. The tranquilizer only lasted 3 hours, and this place has thin ceilings. He never thought about superheroes in relationships. And Batgirl asks, "Do you not spend any time on the internet?" Nightwing says he's going to untie him, but don't try anything stupid. You're going to be stuck here for a few days, so let's not get off on the wrong foot. But before he can make his move, Batgirl says that they might have a problem. Nightwing peeks out the window and sees a taxi just sitting there, which is strange considering this bunker has no roads that even lead to it. Nightwing slowly walks up asking what's going on, and at that moment a man who looks just like him leans out. Name's Rick Grayson. You need to get into the cab now. Nightwing stares for a moment, confused. Rick, don't you recognize me? But then he remembers that he was Rick Grayson when he lost his memory. So whoever this Rick Grayson is, he might not have the memories of being Nightwing. You see, in what feels like a lifetime ago, Nightwing was shot in the head, and this caused a massive memory loss. He decided to rebuild his life in Bloodhaven as this character, Rick Grayson, becoming a cab driver. But that's long in his past now, and if he's here as Nightwing, then who is Rick Grayson? Nightwing gets into the cab, confused what's going on. He tells Rick that he can't go around looking like that. And this Rick person tells him, right, anonymity, 1 sec. With a puff of smoke, Rick turns into a younger Nightwing. Back to the era when Nightwing had his mullet and ponytail, and he asks him if this is any better. Nightwing sighs. No. Wait, what are you? With another puff of smoke, this time the figure turns into a small mini Nightwing. My name is Night-Mite. Nightwing sighs. Oh, great, you're a 5th dimensional imp, like Bat-Mite and Mr. Mxyzptlk. Night-Mite flies up. Oh, you're so clever and charismatic and pretty. I can't believe that I'm meeting Nightwing in the flesh. Hopefully, I'm not interrupting this impromptu date weekend with a tied-up mob boss. Actually, I'm on an impromptu date week with Batgirl then walks up. You have an imp! And Nightwing groans. Please don't find this entertaining. And Batgirl smiles. Too late. Night-Mite flies at the Batgirl. Wow, Batgirl! I'd actually ship Nightwing with Starfire, but whatever makes him happy. Batgirl just looks at him. Excuse me? Speaking of which, will you, won't you? What's going on? And while we've clearly settled on yes you will, how about we get things started? With another puff of smoke, Nightwing and Batgirl are holding hands in a wedding attire, while other heroes are looking on. Batgirl screams out no. And Night-Mite is confused, and Nightwing says not yet, and Batgirl says not yet? Night-Mite tells them both, come on, what's wrong with happiness and commitment? We don't want to be like that guy, right? Denying yourself love, happiness, carbs. Night-Mite snaps his fingers, sending everyone away. But are we absolutely sure you don't want to see the dog? Haley then sits there with 2 rings. Batgirl says that Bitewing, as the ring bearer, is undeniably adorable, but they're sure. Night-Mite snaps his finger, sending Batgirl inside, telling her fine. She can go back to guarding the mobster. We're running out of time anyway! In a flash, Nightwing is brought back to Bloodhaven, as he asks why they're there. Night-Mite tells him that Blockbuster may be gone, but he left trouble behind. Years ago, Blockbuster made a deal with the devil Neron, which, if he had greater intellect before he asked for it, you'd think he'd have the imagination to ask for a bit more. The upshot is, he sold his soul. At some stage, years later, he was able to renegotiate, and instead of selling his soul, he sold his firstborn's soul instead. Her name is Olivia, and she's also one of Nightwing's biggest fans. Not as big as me, of course, but I'd invite her into my fan club. We even got shirts, see? It's Nightwing slapping Batman instead of that other guy. Anyway, with Blockbuster gone, Neron is coming to collect. He's sending a horde of demons from hell. Nightwing asks Night-Mite, if you can alter reality, why can't you fix this? Because I'm not a hero like you, and I can't be involved directly. Neron is pretty serious when it comes to souls. I could be risking an all-out war between the underworld and the 5th dimensional imps. But you can. I'm just gonna give your weapons a bit of a boost. Don't worry, it won't kill the demons. You'll be sending them back to the underworld. And when the time comes, all you need to do is speak this phrase of power on your escrima-sticks. Night-Mite whispers the phrase, and Nightwing tells him, you've gotta be kidding. Can't you make us something else? Nope, can't change it now. The demons are coming, it's time. Nightwing looks at Night-Mite. Am I doing this alone? You're not gonna be alone. You'll have Bitewing. Suddenly, Haley the puppy appears in a puff of smoke in her own costume, stating, hunt now. Wait, she can talk now? Can talk. Thank you. Feed me. Save me. Nightwing pets her, telling her thank you. She's a very good dog. But as Night-Mite is done fanboying over the site, Nightwing and Bitewing sneak into Blockbuster's former building when they suddenly hear the cries of the little girl. Nightwing rushes in, kicking the door open, telling the demons to get ready. The demons begin to fight back immediately, and Nightwing asks them to please don't make him say it. They are confused, asking what is he even talking about, so he holds his escrima sticks close and whispers, Nightwing is awesome. Suddenly the sticks glow with power, and Nightwing leaps into action. Within seconds, all 4 demons are sent back to hell. The remaining one grabs a hold of Olivia, telling him to stop or he'll break the little girl before turning her over to Neron. Nightwing tells her not to worry. I'm not gonna let the demon take you away. Everything's going to be okay. Olivia clenches her fist. I am gonna be okay. And she punches the demon out of the building. Girl strong, Bitewing says, as Nightwing says that her father was too. Later, after making a call, Nightwing meets with Raven, who tells him of course she'll watch over Olivia. She can hide Olivia from Neron's gaze. Night-Mite suddenly appears. Neron can't see? Raven just laughs. Ha! You have an imp! Oh, don't even start, Raven, Nightwing tries to tell her. Before leaving, Olivia tells Nightwing and Haley thank you, but Nightwing says actually, she should be thanking Night-Mite. He's the hero here. I didn't do anything! But Olivia runs over hugging him. Thank you. And Night-Mite hugs her back. It was my pleasure. As Raven disappears, Night-Mite says, that was a night? You know, you're not like the other fifth dimensional imps that I've met. Thanks. I could see how annoying Bat-Mite and Nixie can be. I didn't want to be that guy. I've been watching over you for years and learned a thing or two. What's your name then? And Night-Mite is curious. Why would you want that? Nightwing tells him because Nightwing shouldn't be his whole identity. If he has impossible expectations of him, then at some point he's going to let him down. It's okay to be a fan, but he shouldn't put him on a pedestal. So how about I go first? Hi, I'm Dick Grayson. Night-Mite takes the mask off. My name's Dixel. This is the greatest moment of my life. So this is going to be a bit of an awkward transition. Speaking of deals with the devil, the city will need a new blockbuster. And it could very well be you, without the criminal empire, violence, corruption, and constant murder. Nightwing laughs. Thanks for clarifying. There's a hole in the city. There's a hole in this whole world, and honestly, you might be able to fill it. You know why? Why? Because Nightwing is awesome! And there you have it, the conclusion to the Night-Mite 2-issue storyline right here at the Nightwing comic books. Now, if you want to know what happens next, because he's taking over as the leader of the Titans, which is going to become the brand new Justice League, and they're going to be in charge of the DC Universe coming in this year, consider hitting that notification bell, like I said at the beginning, and turning on all notifications so you'll know exactly when I upload another Bat Family themed video, which is honestly pretty often. I do it like every 3 or 4 videos. Also, if you really want to help this channel succeed, consider giving me a comment down below and hitting that subscribe button. Thank you guys so much for your continued support. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you next time right here.